Welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. This is episode 54. In the last episode, we started looking for Orin the Red. We dealt with an old friend of Jaheira and Minx. Apparently he was still alive after the century that's gone past, just like these two. In this episode, we are going to try to free Halsin from Orin, finally. He's been captive for about 10 episodes. Thankfully, there's no time limit on it, you know? You guys have probably been sitting there wondering, what about Halsin? Did you forget about Halsin? A little bit. We will be heading through this door behind us. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road.
A rush of ancient whispers fills your mind as you approach the door. It is rife with magic. Old, deathly magic.
A new vessel brimming with blood darkens Bhaal's door to baptize his deus most holy. Do you have proof of your faith to our Lord?
I have the amulet of Bhaal. Let me pass, door.
You hold proof of faith, but to hold and deserve are different. How have you proven yourself in the Dreadlord's eyes?
I slaughtered the murder tribunal.
Unorthodox. But a show of faith nonetheless. Walk in blood.
Dead fella, Justin. Archman. Manslaughter Chasm. The worst encounter in the game. You'll see why very soon. Now, the reason why this is the worst encounter in the game is because you have 5 turns, kill this guy, or you will all just die. And there are a bunch of fellas around the room that are also taking shots at you pretty much the whole fight. Let's go ahead and, because Minx didn't get surprised, because he's unable to be surprised, having alert and everything. The one thing that I was hoping wouldn't happen just happened, and Minx got thrown off the cliff. Well, that makes things a bit worse. Double Misty Step over and get to work. This guy also has Unstoppable, which, as we know, makes him only take 1 damage. Nice if we could Misty Step up here as well. Now, there are obviously some fellas hidden there, but we don't need to deal with them. Man, if Jaheira gets knocked off. Thank goodness. Kind of funny, I feel like this is the time that this encounter is its hardest. Of course, when we're making the YouTube video. Oh yeah, and he teleports away. Alright, we broke the Unstoppables now. Why does that person's attacks have knockback on them? Now, 68 damage to deal. Surely it's doable. 1. And now, the fight is over. I guess we should res Jaheira and Minx. Now that everyone's alive, let's look around. A lot of blood and guts all over the floor in this place, though I must say they really like their blood, which isn't surprising. I mean, look at this. Absolutely disgusting.
Like that at all.
There are a few different paths to take down this road. This is the one I prefer. We might miss a few of the statues talking, but
He did not know. He did not revel in the glory of what is to come.
of course there's a bridge and a door at the end of it with traps on it. Alright, the traps are clear. now we come to a spooky door. Head on in, shall we?
Stone seals this chamber against the world.
This is a foul place. Better buried. Already Boo is bristling, and not from the cold.
I confess that the last time I came here, I thought it would be my tomb. You can see why.
The Bhaal amulet trembles in frightened awe.
Let's examine the door. We get one more chance to religion check. Hey, it worked this time. Let's go.
Murder. Bloody murder. Who else but Bhaal would these symbols honor?
I will press the amulet against the door.
Will you return once you cross this threshold?
Hopefully. Temple of Bhaal.
Can't give up now.
Pretty cool.
All darkness and anger, gripping the skull and hammer, hammer, hammer. Gore on the wall, pulp on the hands. Head all gone. Yes, yes, I killed him. I killed them all.
Shh. Silence is good. No screaming, no crying, no pleading, no air escapes. When I squeeze, I make sure they're quiet. I made them all quiet now.
Okay.
Elf skin, soft and supple. Almost ashamed to cure it.
Very interesting people down here, I must say. As you can see, the smith that we ran into in Rivington is now here. He did disappear at one point. Here he is.
Look on this corpse as you would look on perfection. The curve of laceration. Refined. Beautiful.
Few mutilate with Orin's skill. Her craft is exquisite. It is a rare honor to see her work. Relish it. I stripped
Oh, here's
the flesh
Halsin.
from his bones and carved my resignation into his skull.
Good to see he's still alive. Hopefully we can keep it that way.
I smell it. Gortash's corpse stain. His killer approaches. See how good I was? How patient while you drained the tyrant's juices for me. But Saravok's crimson was not yours to spill. He was mine. You had no right to take him. Oh, did it think it could protect? Did it think it could save? Only the blades can offer salvation.
I did what you asked, Orin. I killed Gortash. Let Halsin go. When you need it, you get it, you know?
You do not lie, underling. It is your blood I am destined to spill. Your death spit will stain these walls, little lamb. Your murder should have been exquisite. A crypt-born effigy to greet Bhaal's bleeding dawn. And now it will be nothing. Come to me, Father. Set my flesh to your unholy purpose.
That must be the Slayer. And so begins our fight with Orin. Now she has 12 stacks of unstoppable. So magic missiles is very good in this fight. And there are some fellas around the room chanting. And you got to deal with the boon of Bhaal. Every turn refreshes Orin's stacks of unstoppable. It can get a little bit of an annoying fight, but let's deal with it. We don't have Hero's Feast on, so this might be the hardest this fight's ever been for me, honestly. Immune to being frightened, and we don't have it. Let's twin cast a haste on Shadowheart and Mink. Hopefully he doesn't get interrupted. Let's start with a chain lightning and see if we can get any easy kills. Pretty close to a few of them. Even though these guys have Sanctuary and it means we can't attack them, we can still chain lightning. Alright, Spirit Guardians. Very good in this encounter. Because now we can run around the room and burn people. Also really love like this music that's playing in the background. I listen to it from time to time when I'm doing things. Oh no, the haste. I was hoping Orin wouldn't jump at Minx. The first person she jumps at, literally. It's a little bit annoying because now Shadowheart and Minx will be stunned for this turn. Brand nearby creatures with sinister marks so that their deaths make you harder to kill. Let's try the Tides of Chaos on that. Alright, she just jumped at Minx and absolutely destroyed him. So, we're gonna have to get Minx up. Because I kinda need him in this fight. Orin, can you please leave Minx alone? Like, I actually need him to stay alive. He's probably the most important character in this encounter. Doesn't really matter, but hey, one HP worth of damage is still 1 HP worth of damage. Maybe Jaheira can do something about it. Knocked her on her ass, that's good. Even though she has legendary resistance, Orin is pretty susceptible to being stunned. Like on my honor mode playthrough of when I fought Orin, she got stunned basically immediately and the fight was over. So can be pretty chilled, but because she had to get up just now, it means she doesn't actually get too much of a turn, which is good for us. But I do have magic missiles on my crossbow on Franca, so let's send one. We'll get rid of some stacks. We need to do 4 magic missiles to get rid of all the unstoppable. Good thing I gave Minx some supreme healing potions. Alright, Shadowheart is unable to do anything because of Fearful. It must run from the source of its fear and can't take any additional actions. It's an interesting thing because I can't actually run. I was hoping to be able to run over to Orin and do some damage, but alas, I guess Jaheira's got that job. Alright, we have stunned Orin, which would be good. Means we get a turn for free, basically. Yeah, with Franca, we just have to suck it up and take the 1 damage, because for whatever reason, Minx is... Even though behind Franca, I can't actually use Minx. I wonder if I can get rid of this last Reaper with a chain lightning. Nice. Just a little shatter is enough. That takes out all the cultists. Sadly, Shadowheart is still fearful for 1 more turn.
no matter what you heard.
So Jaheira, just try to knock her over. Maybe give her a stun as well, so she can't do anything. We're just trying to CC Orin as much as possible right now, so we don't have to deal with her jumping around killing people, you know. While Shadowheart is unable to move, we can't really do much to Orin. Shadowheart is our Orin damage. The Minx get rid of the last of these stacks. And Shadowheart can finally get involved in the action. Honestly, should be able to waste Orin right now. Just like that. As soon as Shadowheart's here, it's all over, you know?
A metallic
Goodbye,
tone
Orin.
fills the air as the Slayer's form is drained of life. Ashes to ashes, blood to blood. You have robbed another god of his chosen.
So, we have the final stone. I need to see it for myself. There it is. So innocent, but such potential. You have done very well indeed.
The Netherstones pulse with psionic energy, permeating you, pulling you in line with their rhythm. The thrum quickens, rising, cresting on a single feeling. A location.
A morphic pool beneath the city itself. So that's where the Chosen imprison the brain.
Why would they put it there?
To conceal it, one would imagine. And to maintain the illusion of their own control above ground.
You know Baldur's Gate best. How would we find this morphic pool?
If memory serves, there are smuggling routes beneath the city. They will take you underground. When we reach the pool, we will find the brain, and we will end this. In death, thraldom, or freedom. But a word of caution. Once we cross into the Elder Brain's domain, there will be no turning back. Finish your business here before you proceed. The brain will be waiting for us.
Okay.
That's Orin dealt with. Good riddance. Now that we have her Netherstone, we're one big step closer to finishing this. Once and for all.
I would be lying if I told you I was certain we would walk out of that temple alive. We faced Bhaal there once before, and I was not ready to count on luck a second time. But luck had no part in it. Just you.
Well, you and a certain miniature giant space hamster. But mostly you.
Who got a few
That
hits
is
in?
both chosen beaten, and their stones wrested from their grasp. But where they fall, the Elder Brain rises. It is already worming its way free. We must find it before it slips its collar, whether we are ready or not.
Another ball spawn buried by our hand. Bhaal should learn better than to send his offspring against us. They might as well be babes, dropped bare bottom into the Rashiman winter.
Halsin,
What is this foul place?
good to see you, buddy.
Oh, you came for me. Thank you. I feared Orin's accursed smile would be the very last sight I beheld. Every breath in this place reeks of corruption. I will return to camp. The air is cleaner there.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but it looked like his head wasn't attached. Let's go explore a little bit into the depths of Bhaal's temple, shall we?
From bonds free. No. unavoidable.
Yes, the brain will be coming after us now. We have released it from the bonds that it was held in by taking the 3 Netherstones. Experiment on Kara. Poor little imp fella.
Orin relished tormenting this poor soul.
Doesn't have anything on him, but definitely an interesting fallen bowl spawn. Plan for chaos. Blood envy for the unworthy. Manifesto. Here we have Orin's mother, who we can speak to dead with, apparently.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
I don't think I've ever actually spoken to dead with her, so this is interesting. Who are you?
Helena, Anjev, daughter of Saravok, mother of Orin.
Who killed you?
Orin, my daughter. I tried to kill her, but she killed me first.
Nice family. Why did you try to kill your own daughter?
I wanted to be Bhaal's chosen. Saravok told me she must be my offering. I was close, my hand around her throat. I failed.
Obviously. And did Orin know that Saravok ordered you to kill her?
No. She worshipped him, loved him. So did I.
And where are you from?
Baldur's Gate, Brandon District.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Honestly, the family dynamic of Orin's family is a bit fucked up, but it's not my family, so I'm just gonna leave it there. Let's get on out of here. Seems like everyone's cleared out the temple now. And they're still here. It's not all of them.
Her screams. So loud. Should have cut them off. Squeezed harder. Still, she is silent now. That pretty skin of Orin's all melted to nothing. Unflayed. Untreated. What a waste.
Now there is a pretty sad tale here between these 2 corpses beside the door. Div's wedding vows over here. Marsha's wedding vows. Pretty sad when you put them together, you know. The guy just wanted a normal wedding, but he was marrying a cultist. Alright, before we head back to camp, I just want to head out to the streets real quick to show you the chaos that will now be unfolding. So let's go back to the gate.
Its mortals were infected with tadpoles, and the Elder Brain triggered their transformation. But was it deliberate or accidental?
As you can see, because the brain is now unleashed, we have mind flayers turning in the street. The Baldur's Gate is very much not very safe anymore. They're also naked, which is disgusting. This game has become a bit of a hentai. Oof. Well. That guy didn't survive long. Most of the time I don't even have to deal with these mind flayers in the streets because Orin is pretty much the last thing I do before heading to the finale, but I thought I would leave one of the best fights in this game until the last thing we do before the end this time. But yeah, now as we roam around the streets of Baldur's Gate, we're just gonna have random mind flayers.
The brain is breaking free. We must discover where it is hidden before that happens.
I also don't know if I'll be able to buy a newspaper anymore because of this, but it is what it is. We'd only really get one more anyway, but let's go ahead and take a long rest. Even though Baldur's Gate's in chaos, we do still need to sleep.
Orin was a monster, whatever her form. I suppose growing up somewhere like this would make a monster of anyone.
Good riddance to the shape changer. Couldn't have happened to a worse wretch.
Whatever happens next, be sure that I will document it all as accurately as possible.
Your book really helped, Volar. Thanks. Didn't really help Minx, but helped me.
Hell's take that Bhaal freak. She would have bled the whole world just for the fun of it. We've got her Netherstone now. One step closer to getting the Netherbrain under control.
Orin's dead, which means we have taken one step closer to slaughtering the fetid Elder Brain.
Bhaal's chosen has been bled. May her torment be tenfold of that which she inflicted.
Go talk to Halsin for the first time in a pretty long time, I must say.
I received a dispatch from the Grove. Life carries on there in our absence, just as nature intended. My chosen successor, Francesca, has proven to be a wise choice. Perhaps the wisest I ever made as Archdruid.
Are you just talking about the Grove because you don't want to talk about why you were captured? And hey, the Shadow Curse would still hold sway if not for you, Halsin.
One grand victory may not be enough to absolve a host of small failures. That is where true leadership lies. Not in winning a single vast battle, but in fighting 1,000 smaller ones. Making 10,000 difficult decisions. Finding balance where none seems possible. Day after day. I was all too eager to surrender my responsibilities towards the Grove. Perhaps I was never meant to be Archdruid. To be a leader.
Oh, you served the Grove well and found a worthy successor. No one can ask more of you.
Still, though, I cannot help but wonder if there was more I could have done. Perhaps, Oakfather willing, I may yet have the chance someday. Forgive me. The Shadow Curse occupied me so entirely and for so long, I almost missed the purpose it gave me. Now I must find a new one.
Aside from the Grove, which is a little bit interesting to bring up now, but I guess it's just because Halsin hasn't been around since, well, 10 or so episodes, right? At least. So I guess the game's just like, oh, you've got some stuff to catch up on before we can move on. You weren't harmed when Orin took you, I hope.
Just my pride. I can't believe I allowed myself to be knocked unconscious and spirited away like that. Impressive that she managed to move my bulk, come to think of it. I wonder how that was managed. But in either case, it seems I was insensible for much of my ordeal. Small mercies.
I can just imagine Orin transforming into Halsin and carrying Halsin away as Halsin. It's an interesting thought. Well, we have Halsin back now anyway. Good to have him back. He doesn't really join the party too much throughout this playthrough, as you can see, and pretty much every time that I've played through this game, but at some point I'm sure maybe I'll use him more. And that is where I shall leave this episode. We finally dealt with Orin. We now have all 3 Netherstones, which means we can access the final battle of the game. There are still some things to do though before we go in there. And the first thing we are going to be doing before we head there is going to Hell. That is our next goal. We're going to infiltrate the House of Hope and do what I consider maybe the best fight in the game while we're there. So I hope you all look forward to that. I might even shut up during that fight and just not talk so you can listen to the music, because let's be real, that's probably why most people are going to be watching the video. Thanks for joining me in this episode. Hope you have a great night or day depending on where you're watching from. And I shall see you when we take a portal to the hells.